Hey yo, hello, what's up other than the moon? Midnight Ricochet here, and today I bring this to you with less than a month before Digimon Story Time Stranger comes out to share my thoughts on what if Sonic and Friends had Digimon partners.
I know somewhere out there you and I work together, reaching to the sky. Reaching to the sky.
Alright, let's get right into it again. First, this isn't a what-if scenario in the sense of rewriting the story, just a standalone looks at the characters and some fun. The characters we'll be looking at today specifically are Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Shadow, and Amy. First off, Sonic. I really think it would have been far too easy to just give him a Pulsemon line with Runnermon and Pitmon and like that. But I went in a different-ish direction. For Sonic's rookie stage partner, I went with Vmon. In the games, in the anime, we see him characterized as like this headstrong Digimon, and that fits Sonic pretty well. So, I think it fits. After that, though, his champion would follow that similar Runnermon style in the exact same pose with Rageramon. Yes, I watched the dub, and yes, I used the dub names, and triple yes, I'm aware there's a different Rageramon. I don't care. Fight me. After that, we have the Ultimate. For this Ultimate, I wanted to give reference to Supersonic, and the same with the Mega. So, considering the Vmon line, what better to go here to reference Supersonic than Vmon's very own gold form, Magnamon. Yup, I'm gonna be pretty basic. And while Magnamon is typically depicted on the level of and alongside Megas in terms of power, like with the Royal Knights or against Cheruimon in the Hurricane Touchdown movie, I think it works here especially well considering the Mega I chose. That Mega, of course, being, drumroll please, Old Force Vidramon X. Yes, X, specifically X, and I promise there's a reason for it that'll kind of make sense later. I know, it really is weird, but because the gold elements in X are a lot more prominent than they are in standard Old Force Vidramon, I think it works really well here. So, to overview Sonic's full line here, we have Vmon to Rageramon to Magnamon, and ending in Old Force Vidramon X. So, hooray! Now that we've wrapped up Sonic's line, Well, looks like Tails is up next. Poor guy. Since he just crashed his plane, he's gonna need to fix it up before he can leave here. But that's gonna be hard without knowing where all the parts went. Oh, and who's this little guy? It is, of course, Tails' partner. For his rookie stage, we have given Tails Armadillomon. Following in Sonic's footsteps, that is, with the O2 rookie. But we quickly separate him first, that is, being with his new partner, Tails will create something equivalent to the Digimentals, allowing his partner to evolve into 3 unique champion stages. In order to help Tails search the Earth for more materials to put the plane back together, he helps his partner evolve into Digimon. Of course, once he searches the crash site, he'll finally realize he was on the beach. Totally didn't realize that before. Tails isn't that smart sometimes, I bet you. I bet he isn't always the smartest guy around. But noticing he's on the beach, he finds that some of the parts must have landed in the ocean. Of course, because of this, he's going to need to search said waters. And to do that, he helps Armadillomon become Submarimon. Now, yes, these are both Cody's, progressions to Digimon, Submarimon, But now that he has the parts to rebuild Tornado, he gets started. But some badniks show up, oh no, and take some of the extra components. But since he can't put Tornado fully back together and still has the things needed for the plane to fly, he looks to his partner, and together they help form Armadillo's true champion form, Terramon. With his friend's new power, he fights back the badniks and escapes the island in the sky. Over time, their bond will grow, and Terramon will further digivolve into Jazarikimon. I don't actually know how to say that. Jazarikimon? Jazarikimon? Lord help me. It's really cool, but not only that, it just gets better. When things get tough, Tails and Jazarikimon have to work together to build further, and finally, Jazarikimon's Mega, Metallic Dramon. This guy is insane, and it fits perfectly from the Tails growth, matching Armadillomon, meek to a war machine. Well, isn't that quite the fun conclusion? Next up, we have the Knuckster. After that work of art storyline, Knuckles gave me quite some trouble, until I realized the perfect partner. Someone who's not afraid to get handsy and can follow in his glide paths. Starting off, his rookie Gaomon. And after that, we pretty much follow the line. Gaugamon, big dog with boxing gloves, feels pretty right next to Knuckles. And, you know, the red and the blue contrast next to Knuckles' red and white. I don't know what I was going for there, but it's nice. We get even better, still following the line, getting the gliding with Mach Gaugamon's jetpack. After Mach Gaugamon, though, this is where it gets strong, and of course, the only proper evolution for Mach Gaugamon to complete the line is Mirage. Oh, my bad. Genkumon! I mean, yeah, it's the biggest guy we got, and since Knuckles is a soft rival to Sonic, it makes sense he'd also have a Royal Knight as a partner Digimon. They can, rival each other. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I'm gonna shut up now, because that's, oh my god. Alright, now that Team Sonic has officially gotten their Digimon partners, time for the other two. Though, before that, if you're enjoying this video so far, leave a like and subscribe. You might get to see more in the future. Comment down below your thoughts so far and if you would change anything about these lines. And potentially, join the Discord and you won't miss another upload, I promise. Getting back to it, in proper Sonic fashion, and in proper Digimon fashion, we have the girl of the team. It took me a while to figure out Amy's team. She wasn't super individualized in the games up till Frontiers, outside of Sonic, constantly, never ending, and she's very scary at times as well. But outside of that, there isn't much. So I looked at her character, and I looked at her Pico Pico hammer. In real life, Pico Pico hammers are toy hammers that you bonk. They make cool squeaky toys. Noises. Gold squeaky noises. I'm not re-recording that. I'm sorry, I've taken this like 13 times. Right. They make cool squeaky noises. But her hammer is not a squeaky hammer. It's very real hammer, and it's very dangerous. So what if we went with that sort of same toy that's super powerful energy with her partner? And that was hard for me to decide a rookie for, so I didn't. While I could have given Amy Toy Agumon for her rookie, I decided not to give her a rookie at all and give her a champion constantly, the same way Kari has with Gatomon. And her partner specifically being the champion stage Digimon, Manzemon. A nice, fun, big bear. I think it works really great, and from there, we're gonna match her hammer swinging energy, adding a few spikes, Manzemon, of course, digivolving into Chohakaimon. How did we get from bears to pigs? Well, I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, the pink and the swinging hammer just fits Amy, and we love the twinning with her partner, of course. Finally, the once stuffy and soft Manzemon being stronger as Chohakaimon, Amy now breaking out of her shell alongside her partner after the end of Frontiers, Chohakaimon will digivolve into Sendrilmon. And if that doesn't make it clear what the theme for this line is, it's fairy tales. I think the classic, now cliche turntable of the girl is actually the hero in this fairy tale works well with Amy and where her character seems to be going after the end of Frontiers. And from finding a bear like a lost Goldilocks to hanging out with one of the three little pigs, running around having fun, and now fighting strongly alongside Cinderella, who no longer needs a Prince Charming, just like Amy. Finally, last but most edgiest, we're in pain with all the edge, Shadow. Of course, Shadow wasn't always on Sonic's side, once being a total villain. To reflect that, his partner's line is going to have two split paths. Starting off, his rookie stage will be Black Agumon. And yeah, this entire line is about to be edgy levels off every chart combined. Since he's super duper evil, poor guy's going to have permanently infected his partner with his emotional turmoil. Because Shadow didn't understand what he was going through or how to handle it up till recently in Generations, his partner will reflect that. And because of this, his emotional trauma will force the X antibody to awaken inside of and corrupt his partner, causing him to digivolve into Death X Dorumon. The corruption at this early stage is deep and weakens as he further evolves into Death X Doruguremon. At this stage, it's weak, and Shadow has the chance to cure it, but because of that middle stage up till recently, Shadow still wasn't certain where he was going, mostly because of the bad writing on Sonic Team's part, but whatever. From there, his partner will still remain corrupted, finally mega evolving into Death X Dorugoremon. The corruption settled in strong, Team Sonic will have to fight back. And with the power of the other four together, and of course the power of friendship, they can defeat Shadow's rampaging partner. However, the X antibody wouldn't be cured within it. When his partner is reborn, his line remains the same. Shadow remains afraid to evolve his partner past the ultimate level, in fear of her rampaging again. But when confronted with no other choice, he decides to trust his partner, to make the decision, and without force or fear, his partner digivolves into the powerful Alphamon. Of course, my justification here remains, ow, the edge, and OMG, the aura! As well as Shadow being Sonic's hard rival, it makes sense for him to match him and Knuckles with a Royal Knight. Of course, because Dorumon, Death X form, and Death X Doruguremon remain in this line, it still remains that Shadow is uncertain and is not fully, let's say, good. He's more of an anti-hero from where I stand, but you can debate with me in that in the comment. Also, forgot to just mention this, all three Royal Knight partners match their partner's colors pretty well. Of course, Genkumon only matches Nux in the hair, but still, I think that's something. Well, I hope you all enjoyed. Wait, what's that?
Alrighty then, Blaze, huh? Surprise, surprise, we have a sixth character joining us. This is my personal gift to my dear friend Marvin. So, let's explore Blaze with a Digimon partner. A dimension-hopping fire princess, I can work with this. To start her off, in spirit of her long-forgotten by Sega friend, Pristimon, a little raccoon who's about to get flared up. Yes, I am aware it's a species of ancient red panda, don't come for me, it's the closest thing we have to a raccoon that's in the rookie stage, and I feel like Marine needs to be remembered somehow. When Eggman Nega gets rough and tough, sending robots on a rampage, they get melted in 5 seconds flat when Blaze shows up with Pristimon, and Pristimon digivolves into Lynxmon. Of course, Wildcats, Fire, Blaze, they're all hand in hand, so it makes sense. When Blaze hopped over to Sonic's dimension for a fun bit of Egghead beatdown and world saving, she was able to grow further with the use of the Soul Emeralds to become Burning Blaze. Let's say, once she returns to her own dimension, she harnesses the power and learns how to help her partner grow as well. Lynxmon becoming Hell Lugar, which, damn, just looks so awesome next to Burning Blaze, might I just say. But when worst comes to worst, Blaze will have to use the Soul Emeralds again, and her partner being connected to her also being able to harness that power. And when the two of them get to going together, Hellugermon can evolve fully into Apollomon, ending on a Digimon named after a god of the sun as well, as also being a lion. And it's just perfect. Tell me it's not perfect. So yeah, finally, that wraps up all the lines I had for today's video. I'm pretty happy with them, but maybe I'm just a dumb stupid baby who knows nothing. So tell me that in the comments if you have better suggestions for the lines, or even other potential lines for Sonic characters, or Sonic characters you want to see in the future, or not just Sonic characters, other characters from other series. I plan on doing more of these, so thanks a lot. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!